I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
The harder I want to hit you.
I'm happy because of being here today. Fuck you.
Come on, you want me to drive? You're supposed to be suicidal, remember? I'll
Anybody
drive.
a drive?
Get in the car.
Fucking shit. Fuck me in the fucking ass. Fuck you, you fucking stupid cunt.
Hey, fellows. Wherever I go, the wind follows. Hey, everyone. It's Donji Corleone here, and I'm here with first of an episodes 1 and 2 review, of a TV series review anyways. And this is going to be a little review, not a normal size movie review like you're familiar with, but just a normal summary review. And this is going to be for the first 2 episodes of the series Spider-Noir on Amazon Prime, which stars Nic Cage reprising the role of Spider-Man Noir from the Spider-Verse films. And this is technically also a spin-off of the Spider-Verse films, in a way. Except it's not animated, it's all live action. And it can be watched in 2 ways, either color or black and white. Personally, I think it's best to watch the show in black and white because Spider-Noir is from a black and white universe. So, it fits the show better to watch it in that format, more than really color. It just doesn't have the same impact in color. But, yeah, so basically this is about Nicolas Cage's Spider-Man Noir in his universe. And for episode 1's plot, it's in the 1930s New York City around the Great Depression, and private investigator Ben Reilly, this Spider-Man Noir, is trying to track down a superpowered individual who tried to kill a mob boss, Silvermane, played by Brendan Gleeson. Nobody knows that Riley was until 5 years a superhero known as the Spider and has powers of his own. Then episode 2 has been looking forward to Don Nichols' death. Silvermane is trying to find out who hired Addison to kill him, and Cat hires Ben to find Flint Marco and keep secrets from Ben. Robbie goes to see Addison's widow, and Silvermane's men pay a visit to Janet at the office. So those are the plots for the 2 episodes I'm talking about. So as for my reaction to this series so far, when I heard of a Spider-Man Noir series, I was like, I wonder how this could work. Then I saw the trailer, was intrigued. I did try to make a reaction, but Amazon Prime said no, and they copyright blocked it. Because nowadays, any sensitive streaming service is sensitive to anything that getting uploaded from their shows that isn't by their channel. Really now. Unless you're a paid reactor. And that's it. But I did get around to starting the first 2 episodes, and how do I think? So, I honestly think I'm kind of liking this show so far. And so far, I liked these first 2 episodes, both of them. So far, I like episode 2 slightly more. I just started the series, but yeah, I'm really liking this show so far. The first 2 episodes I saw. So, how was this show made? So the series got revealed to be in development in February 2023, with Uziel involved, and Lightfoot hired that December. Then Cage's reprisal was confirmed in May 2024. The series was ordered and titled Noir before it was titled to Spider-Noir that July. Filming took place in LA from August to March 2024 to March 2025. Then, after it was officially completed, Spider-Noir would be released on MGM Plus in the United States or on Amazon Prime globally on May 25th, 2026 and May 27th, 2026. And it was released in color, consists of 8 episodes, and it's got both black and white color versions. And it's got positive reviews from critics, and Cage's performance received particular praise, which definitely is true, because Nic Cage once again plays the role spectacularly well. Much like he did in Into the Spider-Verse. And he's supposed to be coming back in Beyond the Spider-Verse, so that has to be pumped. Alright, so we're talking about both episodes. So here are the good qualities and stories to start off episode 1. So for episode 1's good qualities and full story how it really goes, this first episode is quite good. You watch it in black and white. I recommend when you watch it in black and white. It's better vibe that way. Right there. In color, it's not really a great vibe. It just doesn't work in color. Like, this could have just been a straight up black and white show. It's got a decent storyline to start off. Like this, it's kind of like Spider-Man Noir in his universe, dealing with his bad guys. And the action was good for a first episode. You don't see the suit yet in this episode. And you still do get a Spider-Man swinging scene with Spider-Man Noir, and it's awesome here. The CGI is used very well for an Amazon Prime series. And it does what it's meant to do. In the first 10 minutes, it wants to get you hooked. And it does. It gets the dark, cynical tone right. It doesn't have forced MCU comedy. It foreshadows the show. And also, it is good at introducing characters that are going to be important to the plot. And this show does juggle between, it balances so many genres. It either has Spider-Man genre, or it's a detective thriller. So it balances the genre as well. It's not just trying to be a Spider-Man show. It's trying to so far be kind of a mystery kind of detective thriller show in one. Episode 1 does well in setting the stage correct. The main character is in life, why he's there, why he's this detective, why he's the Spider-Man Noir of that universe. And it's correctly established. The world the characters live in. It's a gritty Depression era New York, because it's set in the 1930s. It's set during the Great Depression. And establishes the world. It gets introduced to people with powers and the villain who wants them. And the villain is this bad man too. He's not misunderstood. He doesn't have a backstory. He's this misunderstood character for what we see in Silver Mane so far. And Brendan Gleeson does well playing the character right there. Like, honestly, much better comic villain portrayal for Brendan Gleeson than Joker 2. Way better. So how do we start off episode 1? So we start off with the 1920s backstory where Ben Reilly, he once operated as a vigilante called the Spider. He's not really Spider-Man, just called the Spider. But then his fiancee Ruby had died, and he ended up retiring the role and grieved her. Then in 1933, Ben is pretty much a detective, and him and Don Eagle have to find a criminal called Jimmy Addison, and they find Addison, and he gets killed by Don Eagle after being threatened and revealing psychokinesis. So, it's kind of how our first act kind of goes off. You see Ben Reilly that he operated as a Spider during the 1920s, but then his fiancée had died, and so he retired from it. Then, like, as the years progressed, he was pretty much working as a detective. And it sets the stage well for how this all goes off. It's to see the backstory, and then you kind of see him doing detective work to kind of kickstart things off. Like, some people might expect we're going to see him in the suit right away. No, they take their time with this one, and it makes sense for it not to be the suit in this one. If you watch this in color, this feels less impactful. The black and whites matches it better. You know? Right here, the black and white makes it feel more mysterious. Gives it vibes of elements like Frank Miller's Sin City. You know, which is another great comic book film. Like, it gives you the vibes of that. And that's what I like about watching in black and white. It really feels like a black and white manga you're reading. Come to life in a way. Think of it if Spider-Verse were live action. This is kind of how you would get it. It's got moody blues to the show. Right there, and the color, it feels too colorful that way. Like, another thing, if you're expecting forced MCU comedy in this show, no. There is no forced MCU comedy. This show actually takes Spider-Man Noir seriously. Like, and thank you for that. I like this show actually takes the character seriously and doesn't force in a bunch of forced jokes. Right there. So it was nice to see a Marvel show in a while take itself seriously for a change. And one to not be thrown onto Disney Plus. Like, this is coming from a company where they've tried to expand the universe around other Spider-Man certain characters, they got lucky with Venom 1, and then it got sequels. They failed badly at that with Morbius. They failed even worse with Madam Web. They failed even more horrible with Kraven the Hunter, and they shut down that universe immediately. And I haven't seen a single update from it since. There's rumors we might be bringing it back. Maybe we could bring it back, but no, I've seen nothing from them, and I don't think I'll see anything from them. Good luck reviving that universe. Nobody liked those films. You got to pass with Venom. Because while critics that hate that film, there are audiences who do love it. And there are some that do love some of the sequels, I guess, ish. But good luck reviving that universe. Because apart from Venom, nobody gives a shit about the Zony universe. The Zonyverse. Right there. And so producing everything from weak supervillain films to there's animated projects, though, like Into the Spider-Verse and Beyond the Spider-Verse. They're separate stuff, though. They're separate. Spider-Man Noir is a little more promising evolution of the strategy right here, when you're pretty much the first non-Spider-Verse film in this whole Spider-Verse, not film, non-Spider-Verse project about Miles. This is about one of the characters who was a side character in the first Spider-Verse film, Spider-Man Noir. The Nicolas Cage version of him. And this time you see his universe. Right there. And it's not an animated show. I like that this is a live-action series. It's the first attempt to explore a different Spider-Man himself that's not either Miles Morales or Peter Parker. One of the more original Spider-Man before those. And one of the coolest things about the show is now, while I prefer in black and white over color, at least it does give you an option to watch it in either separate formats. That's something I've never really seen a Marvel TV show do before, and it does kind of fit the detective atmosphere and gives the series a unique identity. And Spider-Noir in a show, very badass detective, and very badass Spider-Man. Like, I really like Nic Cage's performance as Ben Reilly, and I really like the detective scenes he has. And like there's this one like homeless kid he does interact with every once in a while, and he does have good chemistry with the rest of the cast members. And really, like Nic Cage plays the role very well, like he did in Into the Spider-Verse, and plays him even better in this film because we finally see him as the main character. The costume design when you see it in episode 2 is very good. Right there. The costume looks terrific. You saw it animated in Into the Spider-Verse. Now you're seeing the costume in live action, and it looks well detailed. And it's right there. And while we don't really see much of it in the first episode, you do see it in the second episode. Like, Spider-Noir is a cool badass presence in his own show. So, after that first segment you see of Ben Reilly, he gets hired by this nightclub singer named to investigate this nightclub singer named Cat Hardy, who is this wife of a man named Carmody, and is investigating for infidelity. And so when he goes to the club, he sees the whole song sequence, and the song sequence is well shot when you see on stage. Right there. The song is actually very catchy. It does feel very 1930s jazzy. While you would kind of see the old style gangster or mafia film or detective film in a 1930s club setting. So Ben stops Kat's lover from being assaulted, and they learn the man who hired them to investigate is Winston, this man to our so far bad guy, Silvermane. Brendan Gleeson's character, who is so far a pretty perfectly intimidating character. Like, Gleeson well portrays the character, makes him as intimidating possible in the first 2 episodes. Like there, and you kind of do have a bit of interest in this character as well. And so, like, now if they had brought a different actor for Spider-Noir, it just would not work. So I like they bring Nic Cage back to the role. It's just for the new format, new story, and you get a sense of purpose. And it's kind of the direction that the Spider-Man universe that isn't about Spider-Man, the actual Spider-Man you're familiar with, we really needed in the first place to begin with. Like this, it's kind of the direction they should have went with. They were trying to make a separate Spider-Man universe. First episode is the kind of plot Spider-Noir needed to kickstart this show. It's stylish, it's strange, it's confident, with the comic presence as more haunted than gimmicky, and more grounded in reality. And what makes it compelling is how it plays with its 2 versions here. Right there. And so Janet, Ben's secretary, and Ben himself, then later discover more news about Kat's companion being Alfred Morse the mayor, so they have to drop the case, and then when the police recover Addison's body, but Ben goes to the nightclub again, or to blackmail Kat and Donegal about Silvermane, and they're like, and for what we see of this Kat Hardy character, Kat Hardy actually, I can tell, is probably going to be an important character as I watch the show more. You can't judge her character yet because I just started this series, but honestly, I already like her. I think she's very intimidating. I think she's kind of a little attractive at times, and just seems like a very slick character. And Silvermane, definitely so far a strong villain so far. Cold-hearted, he's brutal, he's dangerous. It makes it feel memorable and already memorable. Like, honestly, Silvermane so far is already coming across as kind of the Wilson Fisk or Kingpin of Spider-Man Noir's universe. He gives the impression that it's going to be one of his villains I'm probably going to love hating, but it's a good way because it's already effective at being a villain. And it really does feel like we finally have a real comic book movie villain again. You know, one that's not all supernatural, one that's not an alien being, one that's kind of a normal human being for a change. So now we get on with the finale of this episode where we get this chilling scene where Silvermane later tortures and kills Donegal. It is a pretty chilling sequence, and then later we get another character. This universe is Flint Marko, the Sandman, sent by Kat to go after Ben. And then Ben is about to abandon the blackmail thing, but then Kat hires him to investigate Marco's disappearance, and that's how episode 1 terrifically ends. I like how it ends with us teasing. We're going to see Flint Marko in this universe. And it ends your first episode here, and Ben is about to abandon this blackmail case, and Flint Marko is actually sent to go after Ben by Kat, and then Kat hires Ben to investigate Marco's disappearance. So, great start to this. Great start. And then you get on to the good qualities in the story of episode 2. So, with this episode here, in this episode, I like you finally see Spider-Noir in costume, and shots of him like standing on top of the New York, and standing over New York, looking over that, and in black and white, that shot looks even more epic. You see him swing on a building. And in this episode, you actually see him in costume beat Silvermane's crew. Like, right there, where Ben stopped being Spider-Noir for 5 years, and used this, and now he started using the suit after a very long time. And of course, like, it's finally good to see him wear the suit again. And just wants to warn Silvermane and threaten like he could kill. In the plot twist, Spider-Noir actually saved him from the police in an epic plot twist. So I always start off episode 2. So, while Ben suspects Kat is hiding information, Ben accepts the case and searches Marco's apartment. And he sees that Marko and Addison are actually former soldiers from World War I, and they worked as enforcers for Silvermane. Kat later admits Silvermane owns the alcove, and has personal reasons for searching for Marko. And that's how episode 2's first act kind of goes. You get the epic fight scenes, you finally get Spidey action after it wasn't really around episode 1. You finally see it in this episode. And it just looks even more wonderful than episode 1. It has great pacing, and it's faster in the Spider scenes, and kind of slower in the Riley scenes. Like, the fight scenes look so great on camera. Right there. And so Silvermane's thugs capture Ben, but he's able to escape them quick. And Robbie Robertson, this journalist friend of Ben, decides to interview the widow of Addison. And it turns out that she had been spending the money from burning down Silvermane's mansion on his luxurious lifestyle. And meanwhile, as we get to Flint Marko again after we got teased in episode 1, his sand condition is worsening, and he has to hide with a friend, who also has superhuman strength and unbreakable skin as well. So, it's still a great way to keep going with this series. It even makes me further enjoy this show. And this is the second episode, and it was actually even better, you know? Sometimes the second episode can stumble after a first episode, but not here. Right there. So, although I wonder how it's going to go with the next few episodes I gotta watch still. Right here, but here, so far I like episode 2 because there's the fun action scenes, you got the epic web swinging, and and now you get to see Spider-Noir in costume here for the first time taking down Silvermane's men. And it's an epically well shot action scene right here. And then we get on with the finale of episode 2, where Janet gets confronted by Silvermane's men and threatened, but then Ben decides to finally be Spider-Noir again, and he's back in action. Spider-Noir defeats the henchmen, and he intimidates Silvermane to leaving Ben and Janet alone. And then Robbie tells Ben that because he confronted Silvermane, he pretty much saved his life because the police planned an ambush at the docks. So, in a way, it's a nice little epic twist right there, where right there, after Ben threatens Silvermane to stay away from him and Janet, Robbie pretty much tells him that there's a twist. By threatening Silvermane and making him leave, he saved his life from the cops. So this is a nice little epic ending to episode 2, and you wonder, and it leaves you so interested. How is episode 3 gonna go? Oh man, I can't wait to watch episode 3. You already like where this is going. Like, what could they do next? Leads to more epic things to come for episode 3. Alright, so now do I have any bad qualities for this show so far? For these 2 episodes. For bad qualities episode 1, I would say maybe I was let down because of most of the time, I think the letdown things of episode 1 is that it kind of gets spent too much on setup. For some people, it might be a bit of a letdown because episode 1's being more set on setup, not really the Spider in action. But that's kind of the point of episode 1. It's trying to build the world, show the backstory of Ben. And it's done nicely. Some people might want more web-slinging moments and hero moments because this is a show they've waited so long for, or they've waited so long to see Nic Cage portray the character in action. But it's clear they're trying to hold that back for later episodes because they're trying to introduce you to this universe first before they jump to that epic stuff right away. And the narration is a bit upsetting and kind of tries to make us feel for characters that we're not too familiar with yet. And that's kind of a bit of a chore to get through in episode 1. For Bad Qualities episode 2, there's a bit of a plot hole where 2 men aim their guns at Spider-Man Noir. Well, they had the silken web point at their heads and they had a clear shot, but they don't really seem to think that shooting would be the best option. Like, they just kind of fidget there. And when Spider-Man Noir gets into Silvermane's car, like, you wonder, why didn't Silvermane just kill him and end all this? But he gets just told to stay away from Ben and Janet, and it's surprising Silvermane doesn't realize that Spider-Man Noir is Ben because of the conversation. But other than those, I look forward to episodes 3 and 4 next time, and I think this is a good start to the series. So overall, I would have to say so far, these first 2 episodes are worth watching, but I'm not going to do the whole outro bit yet because we're only, I'll probably save that for when I do 9 and 10. So I can review the series as a whole, so I can rank the series as a whole. So, yeah. Episode 1, I give an 8 out of 10. Episode 2, I give a 9 out of 10. So I'm not sure how I rank the series yet. As it progresses, then I'll figure out a ranking for it. But yeah, that wraps up the review for episodes 1 and 2. I'm about to get on watching episodes 3 and 4 in a little bit. So I can't wait for this. So until then, guys, that'll be it for this video. Tell me in the comments down below what you guys think about episodes 1 and 2, what you've thought of the series as a whole. And if you've seen the whole series, whether it gets better or where it just gets a little weaker, but tell me in the comments below. And until then, that'll be it for this video. Thank you all for watching. If you like this, want to see more, don't forget to subscribe to Nic Corleone.